Hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss the 31st question of database management system. Let's say the question. Here's the question set 31. In here there's a shoe store called Aralia Shoe Center. In this shoe store, the information has been kept on bill book system. Because of that, there has been some disadvantages. Using of bill book system, there has been some disadvantages like loss of bill books and damage to bill books. Like that, there are some disadvantages of using bill book system. Because of that, the owner has decided to use computer software instead of bill book system. So in this question, that's the scenario. We have to create that software. We have to create that database required to develop the computer software to the RLA shoe store. So first of all, we have to create the database called RLA Shoe Center. For that, we have to use ER diagram. In this question, we have to use ER diagram to create these databases and the tables. So first of all, I'm going to create this database called RLA Shoe Center by using ER diagram. For this, I'm going to use MySQL Workbench. So let's see. I'm going to open my software. So here's the MySQL Workbench. So here's the front face, and I'm going to open this. So in the question, we have to create. We have to draw the tables. We have to draw the database using ER diagram. So first of all, I'm going to get a new model. So I'm open the model and I'm going to rename this. So we have to name this as RLA Shoe Center. So here's the database name. Now I'm going to add a new diagram. So here is the space to draw ER diagram. So first, let's see the first question. In the first question, we have to create a user table for storing the information of all the customers and all the suppliers in the store as shown below. So first of all, we have to create the user table. So here are the instructions to create the user table. So let's create this user table. So first I'm going to create the table. First of all, I'm going to add a table and I'm going to rename it as user table. So in the question, these are the column names. The first column name is user ID. The first column name is user ID and it should be the primary key and it has auto increment and the data type is int. So let's add this column to the table. So here I'm going to add the first column user ID and its data type is int and it should be the primary key and it should be auto increment. So here we have add the first column to our table. Like that, I'm going to add the other columns too. So here you can see I have add the other column names too. So here is our user table. In the user table, first I have add the user ID column and I have make it as primary key and its data type is int. Next I have add the first name and last name and their data types are varchar and their length is 45. Next I have add the contact number as the column name and its data type is varchar and length is 10. Like that, finally I have added the status as the column name and I have make its data type as int. So here's our first table, here's our user table. In this second question, we have to create a gender table and here are the instruction to create that gender table. So let's create this table. Now I'm going to add a new table and we have to change the name of it as gender. Now first of all, we have to add the gender ID as the first column name. Here's the gender ID. We have to add the column name as gender ID and we have to make it as primary key and we have to make it auto increment. So let's see. Here I'm going to add the gender ID and its data type is int and it should be the primary key and it should auto increment. So here's the first column. Next column is gender name and data type is voucher and its length is 10. So let's add this too. I'm going to add the next column name, gender name and its voucher and its length is 10. So here I have made this second table, gender table. So here's the gender table. In the third question, we have to create the table user type and here is the instruction to create the user type table. First, I'm going to add the table. So yes, I'm going to add the new table and I'm going to rename it as user type. Next, I'm going to add the first column name. First column name is ID, user type ID. It should be the primary key and it has been auto increment. The next column name is user type name and its data type is voucher and its length should 45. Now I'm going to add this column. So here user type name, its data type is voucher and length is 45. So I have created the third table. So here's the third table I have created, user type. In the fourth question, create a system login table to store the login details of software users. So here's the instruction to create the system login table. First of all, I'm adding a new table and I'm renaming it as system login. Now I'm going to add the first column name. The first column name is login ID. First column name is login ID and it should be the primary key and it should auto increment. The next column is like that I'm going to add the other columns, username and password. So here I have created this system login table. So here's the system login table. Now I'm going to create the next table. The next table is address table. So here are the instructions to create the address table. So first of all, I'm going to add a new table. I'm adding the new table and I'm going to rename it as address table. The first column is address ID and it should auto increment and it should be the primary key. Then the next column is number. It should be voucher and its length should equal to 45. Here I'm going to add the next column and its data type is voucher and it should be length should be 45. Like that I'm going to add the other columns. So here I have created the address table by using the instruction given in the question. Now I'm going to create the next table. The next table is city table. So we have to create the table called city and these are the instructions to create the city table. First of all, I'm going to add a new table and we have to rename it as city. Now I'm going to add the column names. First column is city ID. It should be the primary key and it has been auto increment. The next one is city name. City name and its data type is voucher and length should be 45. So let's add the city name. Here I have added the city name and its data type is voucher 45. So here I have created this city table. You can see here's the city table and I have created all the tables given in the 31 question. So there are 6 tables and I have created the 6 tables in my ER diagram. So today I have discussed the question set 31. So thank you everyone for listening.